Okay, I now have questions imported from ExamView into my Moodle shell, or I've built questions into my Moodle shell using a single category. How do I sort the questions and actually get more organized so that I can use some of the advanced features of the Moodle quiz module, which allows me to do random questions from a certain bank so that I can actually deliver a different test every time the student takes it? Well, let's take a look. I'm back into my, my secondary template shell. I'm looking at the question bank. I just imported 65 questions and deleted one in the last video for importing from ExamView. Now I do have different types of questions. We have the essay questions, and then right below the rest of the questions are all multiple choice. The problem is I could write a test where I choose randomly from this bank, and we'll show how to do that in a later video. But if I do randomly choose, I could have one or two essay questions mixed in with the multiple choice questions. That would not necessarily work very well because of point values and being fair. One student may get all 3 essay questions and a couple of multiple choice. Another student may get all multiple choice and no essay. So how can I organize this so I can control the questions a little better? Well, we do that through building categories. So I'm going to go back to the category tab, the top of my questions section here. And I have a category called Chapter 7. What I need to do is create subcategories, and I'm going to separate the questions by question type. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and it says the parent's going to be Chapter 7, which is what I want. If it didn't, I would have a pull-down menu. I could select the actual category I want my subcategories to be in. And I'm going to do right now, I'm going to choose multiple choice. And I can actually put in an explanation down here if I want to. I'm going to add that category. And as you can see, now I have Chapter 7 with a subcategory multiple choice. I'm going to add one more. Here's my parent category, Chapter 7, and I'm going to write essay. And I'm going to add that category. And now I have 2 subcategories. I have an essay category and a multiple choice category. Now I'm going to go back to questions. And I'm looking at all of my questions in Chapter 7. Make sure that my display questions from subcategories is turned off so I don't get confused later on as I move questions. I'm now looking at all 65 questions. That makes it easier. And I'm going to select the essay questions. So I'm going to just click on these 3 essay questions, because I can tell from the symbol over on the right-hand side that these are essays. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of my 64 questions, I guess. And at the bottom, I have some tools here. One, I could delete those 3 essay questions, or I can move them somewhere. It says move to. Now it says move to the same place they are right now. I'll open the pull-down menu, and I'm going to move to essay, because I want these essay questions in the essay subcategory. And I select move to. Now I'm looking at the essay category. I have 3 questions in the essay category, and here are my 3 questions. Let's go back to the Chapter 7 category that still has 61 multiple choice questions in it. Now this is important that I select to see all of them. So if you don't have see all, all of them, just click on that. Right now I am selected to see all. And I'm going to select all. Makes it simpler. Now all my questions that are multiple choice, I want to move it down, select multiple choice, move. And now I'm looking at my multiple choice category, and it has 61 questions, and they're all listed below. If I go back to the Chapter 7 category, there's nothing in it. Now let's take a look at the categories list, and it will show you an organization. Now I have no questions in the Chapter 7 category, but in the subcategory essay I have 3, and in the multiple choice I have 61. I can use this technique to organize my question bank and to use some of the advanced features in Moodle much more easily when I'm writing my questions or quizzes for my class. Now let's take a look at something that's a little more extreme. I'm working on a template. Let's take a look at it here. This is my advanced secondary template. This already has categories built for you as examples. So for instance, in Module 1, I have 2 subcategories, and I have multiple choice essay and true-false separations already built. I can also use the same technique you just learned to rate questions by easy, average, and challenging, which, by the way, many of the ExamView question banks have those designations, so you could use ExamView to sort that or do it after you import them into these 3 categories. I can also sort by Bloom's taxonomy separation. So if I have questions that are comprehension questions or interpretation questions, I can create separate banks for them, so I can create tests based on those levels. And then I have another sample down here where I can actually create question banks by standard type and separate that. And that's another thing you can do and sort inside ExamView, then export each standard and create a place to put them in Moodle sorted by standard type. What we've just learned is how to stay organized in Moodle and to build your category lists so that you have a place to put these questions based on how you're going to use them. Many times I find it advantageous to build my categories and subcategories before I import, and then import into those sections. It makes it a little easier to move things around. Next, we'll talk about how to build a quiz and use the very questions that you imported.